What is up, guys? It's ajmarkle here. Welcome to the Comparing the Games series. Comparing the Games series is where I take two games of the same sport and same genre. They both have to match, but they are done by different companies. And before I continue, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, uploads are 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Time currently. So let's get to it. MVP Baseball 2005 versus 2K5 from Major League Baseball. MVP Baseball 2005 was created by EA Sports, and 2K Baseball was created by, well, 2K Entertainment. So let's start off with MVP Baseball 2005, one of the most popular games and highly respected. So MVP Baseball 2005 started off basically with the same formula as they did with 04. And when you go into the intro, obviously, they will show the fans. But we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about the graphics, the controls, and even cool features. Let's start with the graphics real quick. So when you look at the game, you see some pretty realistic graphics. But if you compare that to 04, 04 had brighter graphics than 05. So 05's graphics were a little darker compared to 04. But it also had a lot of cool features, like more realistic swings, more realistic hitting, and MVP Baseball had more visuals so you know what pitch is coming. That's one of the things. It's the batter's eye. That's what they introduced, which made the game a lot more fun and also a lot more easier to bring to the table for gamers alike. And it also made it cool to know like green changeup, red curveball or slider, no color fastball. Or you guys the hint. But either way, the game itself is still fun. And you can also get a chance to even play multiple mini games as well, which that wasn't a new thing. They actually added mini games to MVP Base 2005, and which include untimed pitching, timed pitching, and timed hitting. Actually, no, just hitting. My bad. Basically, batting is when the batting cages, and pitching is when you're in the pitching bullpen, which, here's the cool thing. The batting game, which is basically like you're in a baseball field with like junkyard, which kind of indicates almost like a almost abandoned baseball park to start with, and the pitching gives you look like you're in a spring training game. So I think both those areas are spring training areas. So that's probably what you would expect if you played basically owner's mode or franchise mode. So franchise mode you could play in those stadiums. So that's pretty cool as well. Also, something else I want to point out when it comes to the actual games for MVP Baseball, there's also still those visual elements. Visuals are very important when it comes to video game play, and MVP Baseball did a good job at that. It's also cool that you get to go into rewards, because I love baseball games that have rewards, that you can unlock something for your hard work. You can unlock stadiums, baseball players, even jerseys. Now, the jerseys were a major upgrade from 04, because 04 was like over 50, 05 had 119. Now, granted, the legendary players were very, very hard to unlock, because you got to have like over 2,500 points just to unlock the first player. The first uniform you get is like 50. The lowest for the stadiums are like 2,500. So there is that. That is very, very challenging to get. So you gotta like do good. And like the other games, there's always like Rookie, Pro, All-Star, and MVP. That's basically like easy the hardest. So Rookie is easy, Pro is intermediate, and All-Star is hard. MVP, very hard. So, and the settings, which I didn't really show the visuals of that, the settings were very easy to do, because you could control the cursor, like how much you want to hit contact, how much you want to get computer contact, and even affect how the game is played. So that's pretty cool. And some might call it cheating, but hey, sometimes you gotta make it fun to your own advantage. So MVP Baseball, very good game. If I had to give a review and a rating for it, I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. The only downside were the darkened graphics compared to 04. But other than that, MVP Baseball is a fun, enjoyable game. I would highly recommend it. And if you have an original Xbox, get that game. Seriously, like, get the game. You don't want to miss out. Now, with that said, let's go to the next game that started the 2K franchise, Major League Baseball by 2K Entertainment. Much like MVP Baseball 2005, which is now its rival, which I'll explain later why 2K and EA Sports became rivals, 2K also brings a lot of like challenges. They had awesome visuals, better graphic color than EA Sports' MVP Baseball 2005, and it also has some of the same movements, like in the field, the hitting, and they also have like multiple zones like where you can like throw your pitch and everything. So it definitely brings that vibe. Some might be able to compare it to MLB The Show, which is also one of the companies that still was able to get rights to like play baseball games, not EA. And there's also music. You can add your own music in the game, which is definitely pretty cool. It's basically really, really cool that you could have all this access and everything, and you get to have more visual graphics. Now, I played the game. Let's explain. Definitely a lot more options where you could choose like video game mode or pure game, K-zone, or even hitting cursor and all that. And basically helps with the game as a hitter or a fielder or a pitcher. Now, it's a very challenging for me to use controls for that, so that's a very tough thing. And there's a lot of like unlockables in 2K, which I probably will do a video of getting them soon enough. I mean, I love challenges. I love unlockables. Video games with no unlockables are not good games, in my opinion, to play. And there are still uniforms that are already there, so you don't have to wait for certain uniforms. Like I chose the Texas Rangers 1985 jerseys, which are basically red, which kind of matches with some of the Rangers uniforms today in terms of the color, but not exactly in terms of how they looked, in terms of like the font and the pants and everything. But that's another story. Now, in my opinion, though, when it comes to the gameplays, I did choose Pro and MVP Baseball, and I chose Rookie and 2K, but 2K is still hard. It's very, very hard game to play. Even with pitching and fielding and everything, hitting is another story. Hitting is challenging because you gotta like adjust the timing and everything, which that is realistic in baseball because you gotta have the right timing to hit a ball or get a good hit just to get ahead of the game. But like MVP Baseball, they have settings and in the cursor you can adjust how powerful you want to be fielding and even how the game goes. There's even a lot more mini games and game features in 2K than MVP Baseball. So I'll give this out too. More features and brighter colors to 2K than MVP. But here's the problem, and I think everyone needs to hear this out. They are not always accurate when it comes to the players' jerseys. What I mean? David DeLucci, he wore 11 in the game. Why is this inaccurate? He never wore 11 with the Rangers. He wore 22. So when the Rangers got him, he wore 22. Rob Barajas, also another guy Rangers got. He wore 27, not 48 like he did with the Diamondbacks. So the problem is they did not do their research in that area that much, other than they used the previous numbers when they made the game, which probably indicates maybe they started in 03 or early 04. Who knows? But the big thing that really, really ticks me off is they used this graphic where everyone's celebrating still with their helmets on. Completely unrealistic. And when the players celebrate in an MVP Baseball 2005, they wore their hats, not their helmets. Even unless they win through a walk-off, which that didn't happen. So here's my 2 cents. So what's the rating review for 2K? I'll give it a 8 out of 10 because of the inaccuracy in the jerseys and the challenges. But either way, both these games are really, really good. So based on my comparison, what would I choose more? I would choose MVP Baseball 2005. Easy. But 2K is still good at making that type of game and getting people drawn in. The downside, however, is their glitches and everything when it comes to like the helmets and the jerseys. And unfortunately, guys, whether you like it or not, 2K has definitely raised the bar for challenges. So, but MVP Base 2005 also did too. It also brings up a point of like the hitter's eye, which might be more of a help than indicator than 2K. So if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments below. And also hope you guys enjoyed this game, plays and all, even the comparison. Who knows? What games would you suggest I do? Would you suggest maybe like Madden 05 versus ESPN 05? Or 2K5, even though 2K5 was lost by 2K? Or even another football game, which is Peyton Manning versus Madden, based on the year. You guys know what to do. Comment down below. Also, like, share, and subscribe, and hope to see you guys in the next video. You guys know what I'm going to say. God bless. You rock. Don't you ever forget it.